Love that. Trash.
Like, first of all, this.
No, stop it! Oh my god!
Gearing is absolutely pointless in Final Fantasy XIV. That's not clickbait, that's not a shocking one-liner, or shouldn't be, but we're back at the point with the patch cycle where a ton of people have been talking about it with me in Discord, and I've gotten a bunch of Twitter DMs that I'm still going through where a lot of people are like, well, what's up with this? And so I figured, let's talk about it more largely. Quick 30-second thought experiment. Shown these items like this beautiful Genji Codex from Stormblood, I wonder if it's going to ask for healing, this amazing Diamond Codex from Stormblood, or what about all of this healer gear from Shadowbringers raids? How impressed are you by them? And be honest. If your answer is you don't care, or you have no idea where these things came from, especially the Genji and the Diamond books, congratulations, you are a part of 99.9% of people who just don't give a shit. And that's an important thing to establish out the gate for this sort of video. Each of these was in their time best in slot. Keep your reaction of those items in the back of your mind as we go through this video. In about a month or so, we're gonna get patch 6.2, which means that there's gonna be a brand new raid tier with a ton of new gear set types. Crafted gear without any melds will outperform current best in slot gear just by the nature of main stats being overwhelmingly more valuable. Really, the best indicator of what we will see is from Shadowbringers raid tier numbers, and so let's lay the cards out on the table. We know that our current best in slot item level of 600 with a 605 main hand matches most closely with Eden's Verse, the second raid tier from 5.2, with item level 500 baseline with a 505 main hand. Quite directly, it's 100 lower item level points than what we have today. So 6.2, we will see best in slot follow the Eden's Promise raid tier from patch 5.4, which was 30 item levels higher than our current best in slot, with item level 530 being their baseline with a 535 main hand. Now let's extend that to figure out what item level will replace our current best in slot level when 6.2 hits. For crafted gear specifically following that idea, we're going to be looking at crafted gear being launched on 6.2 being 10 item levels above our current best in slot item level. I just say that because Eden's Promise crafted gear was item level 510, so we're looking at 610 item level there. Obviously a 10 item level dump, like I said earlier, is going to make current best in slot irrelevant on arrival. That is a pretty serious leap. Like, these new lists I love, trash. This body piece I rolled on wanting so badly months ago, trash.
Love that. Trash.
Like, first of all, this.
No, stop it! Oh my god!
In conclusion, this really leaves me to the main message that I said at the start of this video. Gearing in Final Fantasy XIV is pointless. There are very minor caveats that I'm going to go through real quick though. The first one is going to be obvious. If you like the glamour, like I love these lightsaber new lists and I plan to use them for a long time unless somehow something tops them, and right now, peace and love, nothing does, so glamour is a big reason to be inspired to get something. Glamour is forever. Item levels may fade, but glamour is forever. Now the second one is a double-edged sword. To get these new lists, you need to clear the raid tier, which by definition means that you needed to be able to clear the raid tier without having them. I know that that is like super obvious to a lot of people, but it is also not very obvious to a lot of people that I talk to. It's like, wait, to get these I need to clear the tier, but to clear the tier I needed to have, like, couldn't have had them. Like, for some people that is actually shocking. So really, when we're talking about best in slot and all of these fancy nice add-ons, they're just really icing on the cake. They're the gravy on the side. They're the equivalent of what, how to say it, would you like fries with that? They're the side on the side of the meal. They're not the actual meat and potatoes here. I will give them though is that they make re-clearing the tier easier. They make helping like friends through the tier easier, but you couldn't have had them to clear the tier. Now the one thing gearing is factually great for is it is really great for being able to gear up and tackle ultimate level content, which, quick reality check here, is specifically on content when you're really caring about this. Otherwise, we're really looking at the relic weapons to really boost up what people are doing. People were doing that all the time with the Epic of Alexandria, actually. So we're talking specifically on content in that particular best in slot patch cycle, ultimate raid content, which as statistics show, factually is like 1% of players, if even actually, because you're not stupid, I'm not stupid, and we know that these numbers are factually going to be inflated from sellers in the ultimate raid community, and that's That's no malice intended. Get your money. Honestly, get your money. But I'm personally not going to have any party with that because the TOS scares the shit out of me. But cells and piloted clears are totally a number inflator here is really what I'm trying to get at there. But even with those inflated numbers, overwhelmingly, most people, the incredible mass majority of people, will never even attempt an ultimate, let alone even unlock ultimates, let alone even clear it, let alone clear it on cycle. Which is really the expanded and pinned down way of me saying before, gearing in 14 is totally irrelevant for the overwhelming majority of players, even for those who do actively engage in Savage. Now this lands us at an interesting talking point. Why do people care about best in slot? Now this is something that can go into human motivation, which has been a topic of many actual PhD theses and research publications I won't dare scratch deeper on, but simply from most people I've spoken to, it falls into a handful of categories largely. I'm gonna boil those down to like two kind of categories here. First one is gonna be healthy. People want to be as strong as they can be currently in the game and are wanting to like push numbers sometimes or like help friends, which I think is honestly great and fine. That's healthy. That's a healthy outlook. Long as you look at it in that healthy way, why not? Help friends clear with more stats to help spread the joy of raiding, and that's fantastic. The second reason, however, is significantly more insidious. It is people who just do it because they want to keep up with the Kardashians, not even because they enjoy raiding, not because they like the people that they're raiding with, not because they even care about it. It's just another thing for them to have a checkbox on and to attempt to use to show power or something on an aspect of control or dominance, which, yeah, as most people probably did, they probably cringed at that. Trust me, I do. But that's what talking to people is really influencing them. It is, however, interestingly enough, really less about intrinsic motivations. They're not really doing it for themselves and more about the extrinsic motivations. It's not about the, oh wow, I cleared the raid tier with people I enjoy, playing a role that I love, and raid mechanics were so cool, I love you all. And it's more about how do I get past the slot as fast as I can so that I have exclusivity, which is obviously never going to be a thing in this kind of game with the gear structure, so that I can AFK on my catgirl and Limsa in hopes that I can make people drool over my pixels and dominate them passively, or something crazy. But remember that quick thought experiment at the start of this video. The Genji Codex, the Diamond Codex, the other best in slot gear, yeah, that wasn't impressive to you or 99% of viewers, even if you did recognize the name, which I guarantee you most of you probably were like, what's this? The fact is the gear treadmill kept moving and moving year after year, and even when I was younger in high school playing games a few years ago, I literally never really cared about it, so I can't really say it's because of age. It's not because I'm suddenly an old man. It's because I genuinely cannot think of a more futile treadmill of trying to punish yourself doing something that you don't even enjoy for the point of gear. Usually these people are the ones losing their minds over minor mistakes who don't actually enjoy the experience, and for them it's all about the prestige. Well, Cole, that Diamond and Genji Codex that you brought out, sure, knocked us out of the park, it shocked us. Boots down, the house down, sister, yes, work God. Sissy Queen, work that runway. Yeah, fucking no one said that. Like, I've been playing this game for a very, very long time, and this channel is relatively new in my time playing, and it's been like 2 years out of a decade of playing. I have seen content creators come and go. I've been in so many raid groups with people who I've never seen again. I've gotten and then lost best in slot so many times. But yeah, for the overwhelming majority of players, best in slot gear treadmill, it's pointless. Why should you raid? Well, that's because you raid and you enjoy it and you want the experience if you love the people. Because if you don't, I can't think of a dumber way to waste your time. Plus, standing in Limsa showing off pixels to a bunch of people who probably don't even know what you're wearing is mid.